Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your...
It's cool, it's awesome, it's super awesome.
Photo News Fix. This fix is brought to you by my Bernie photo book, which is now live on Kickstarter. This photo book follows my journey with unprecedented access to the senator as he campaigned to be the Democratic presidential nominee. As someone who owns hundreds of photo books, I knew exactly what type of book I wanted to create. It had to be big, it had to be impressive, and it had to be unique. This book clocks in at 14 by 10.5 inches, has 256 pages with 100 images, and weighs in at just over 6 pounds. We hit our first Kickstarter goal in less than 24 hours, so thank you to everybody who already backed this project. If you'd like to back this project, head on over to bit.ly/BerniePhotoBook to grab your copy and get a thumbs up from me. So thank you. First up, we have news about FujiFIlm. Last week, FujiFIlm was hit with a ransomware attack which caused them to take their servers offline. From what I've gathered, and by gathered, I really mean what I read on Petapixel, FujiFIlm was reportedly infected with the Qbot Trojan last month, which is a Windows banking Trojan with worm features that is used to steal banking credentials, personal information, and financial data, as explained by Bleeping Computer. Exactly. You gotta watch out for that Qbot Trojan. It will get you 100% of the time, 60% of the time. Well, this week, Fuji gave a big middle finger to the hackers and said,
I do it myself.
And then went on to restore their servers from their backups. I guess if you have your stack backed up, you won't lose too much data.
Thanks to Psychosec.
This reminds me of the hack last year that took Canon down for almost a week and caused them to warn current and former employees that their data may be at risk. Now, there was no word on whether or not Canon paid the ransom to the hackers or who the hackers were, but I was sent this video anonymously that might shed some light.
Hello, is this Canon? This is the hacker. I am the hacker. I demand you pay me and send the money truck to this address. Bleep, 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 bleep. Thank you.
Next up, it's happened once again. Photographers had their car windows smashed and all their gear stolen in San Francisco. But like I've been saying for years, hashtag don't be an asshole. Don't ever leave your gear in your car, even if it's for 5 minutes. And before you tell me I'm victim blaming, let me make this clear. I am. They left their gear in their car in an area that's a hotbed for car break-ins, and guess what happened? All of their gear got stolen. Also, let me make this abundantly clear. I feel terrible for the victims, and I'm sorry this happened to them, but it gives me another chance to spread the message loud and clear. Hashtag don't be an asshole. Now here's a list of what was stolen. A Hasselblad 905 SWC, Leica M6, some Leica glass, a Mamiya RZ67 with some glass, 2 Pentax 6.7s, no big deal there because it's Pentax.
That was harsh.
Along with some other Pentax glass, and 3 MacBook Pros. Oh, and 60 rolls of film.
What are those things?
Now, do you think the thieves that stole the film will actually process it to see what's on it?
No.
So what's the takeaway here? Don't leave gear in your car, period, end of story. If you want to grab a bite to eat, take the gear in with you. If you have too much gear, then go to the Chick-fil-A drive-thru unless it's Sunday.
And then?
And don't yell at me because once every 2 years or so at an airport, I order a 12-piece nugget with medium fries. It's just that good. I like Chick-fil-A. There, I said I like their food.
Stay away from those processed foods.
Yes, it's still possible you can get robbed while in your car stopped in traffic, but my job here is to yell hashtag don't be an asshole, so the next time you're getting out of your car, you see this face and you tell yourself hashtag don't be an asshole, and you take the gear with you.
Drop the sales pitch.
Now would be a good time to suggest that you download my app, My Gear Vault, and get your gear backed up in it because it's free. Head on over to mygearvault.com to download it now for Android and iOS. Recently, Canon released new firmware for the 5D Mark IV with minor updates for the 23 people that are still using it, and now they've pulled the firmware. Now, there was no reason given for why it was pulled, but I have a sneaking suspicion it might have been that pesky Qbot Trojan worm, and I think I know who did it.
Wasn't me.
And finally, we wrap up this week's fix with a few rumored lenses that might be on the way from Sony. Sony Rumors claims that one source that is usually reliable on Sony lens rumors told him that the next two lenses that Sony will be releasing will be the 24-70 2.8 and the 70-200 2.8 version 2s. Now, I've been calling for this for the last year or so. The 24-70 2.8 G Master is one of the first, if not the first, G Master lens that Sony ever put out for the E-mount, and it's time. I personally take the Sigma 24-70 2.8 in place of Sony's because it's smaller and just better in my opinion. And the 70-200 2.8 just sucks. It's heavy, it's expensive, it's old, and it back focuses worse than Brokeback Mountain, whatever that actually means.
He must work out.
I've mostly had bad experiences with the 70-200, and the only other E-mount that is available right now is the Tampon 70-180 2.8. Damn it! The world's waiting on a refreshed Sony 70-200 2.8, or at the very least, a Sigma Sport version. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hashtag don't be an asshole. To check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. And also, go ahead and click over here to check out the preview for my Kickstarter for the Bernie photo book. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.